Hi everyone, J7409 here with you with a tropical weather outlook. We're going to go through many different things today. We're going to talk about Central America, the Atlantic Ocean, the Caribbean Sea, the Gulf of Mexico. But I know everyone is going, what's going on with this, Jewel? What's going on with this? Well, it has changed now. You know, it was yellow earlier. But now it's up to a 50% chance of cyclone formation in the next 5 days. It is a broad area of low pressure, and it seems to be developing now over the central Atlantic Ocean, several hundred miles southeast of Bermuda. Now, this disturbance is producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms and some gusty winds. And some additional development is possible, and a subtropical depression could form tonight or tomorrow as it moves generally northward. Now, development is not expected after that time to unfavorable environmental conditions, but it does have, in the next 2 days to 5 days, a 50% chance of development. This from the National Hurricane Center. Now, as we look at the satellite picture, you see the system right over in here. Okay, we got some stuff going on maybe in the Gulf. Let's check it all out. But first, let's continue with this system right here. Now, what exactly is going on to make all this stuff happen right in here right now? Well, what we have is an upper level trough. That's what it is. And it's spreading. As this system moves, it's spreading northward, remember? Well, it's spreading some cyclonic wind flow in the Atlantic Ocean. As we can see, that's where it is right now. Now, what's going to happen? Precipitation with this, as you can see, it's widely scattered. You can see all this precipitation that is forming. But there's no circulation yet to close it off. Nothing is closing it off. It is not any kind of system at all. We're just going to have to wait and see if it makes up to one. The precipitation, though, is moderate to some isolated strong thunderstorms, and the isolated moderate storms are associated with the surface low or to the north of Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, and in the Atlantic Ocean. So this is what it's looking like with the satellite at this time. Now, as you can see, this is the European model, by the way. We do have this precipitation going on up here with this system that we are watching. Also, we got some rain showers over here in the Gulf. That's going to be interesting to check out. And right down here, we have several little systems that are trying to get rotation. This is called a gyre. This should not turn into anything, hopefully. We have to wait and see what all these little systems do. But now let's concentrate mainly on our system right here to start with as we move through all of the tropical weather. Now, we've made this a little bigger now, and we've got most, we can zoom it up a little. You can see where these little showers are beginning to develop. But it's not closed off yet. It's still an elongated low pressure system. Now, here is Hamilton right in this area here. You can see it's east of it, east of North and South Carolina and the United States. We're going to bring it down just a little bit, and we're going to put it up to around Saturday, around 2 o'clock in the morning. You can see it has moved a little bit more. It's trying to get a little bit more center of circulation closed off at this time as we move up to around 10 p.m. Saturday night. Looks like it starts to dissipate. Now, as I turn on the pressure gradients, I want to show you something as to why this happens. Here it is right here with the center of circulation with the barometric pressure at 29.88. We have a high pressure over here. This is a totally different low pressure system that's coming down from Canada across Maine. Totally different. This precipitation has nothing to do with this particular circulation that's going on with this system. So let's just turn it on and let it roll for a few moments. We're going to keep it right here, and we're going to see, you see how those pressure gradients are expanding. It is starting to dissipate at some degree. You can see right here it's getting smaller and smaller, even though the barometric pressure is lower. And then it gets caught up in this low pressure. As I've told you very, very many times, high pressure pushes, low pressures pull. So let's bring it down a little more. Now, this doesn't mean that our friends up in Canada might not get some rain or maybe some gusty winds. So we're going to turn it on. And it doesn't mean you are or you aren't, because it's still, we have to check things out. You know how these things can change in the blink of an eye. Here's where the system was right here, but now it's totally engulfed in this low pressure system here, which is just a low pressure system. Okay, it's not a storm, just a low pressure system. Look like it's bringing some rain up here over into Sydney, and we will check some winds right quick. I think over in St. John's and maybe over here at Corner Brook, you might get a little more wind from the low pressure system, but it's a low pressure system. Wind is nothing really right now at all in this system. By Tuesday, you can see 17 mile per hour sustained winds. Do you have any gust? Yes, there are some gusts, especially over in this quadrant of the low pressure system. But still, over in Nova Scotia, let's see what it is right quick, 35 mile per hour wind gusts. So you guys, as of right now, of course this may change. You should be okay, and by Wednesday around 10 a.m., let's see where it goes. It does try to form a little bit more as it moves up, but it's looking like very light rain along these areas as it pushes to the north. So this is what this system is looking like right now on the European model. We'll have to wait and see. You know how things can change, and I'll keep my eyes on it. Now let's go down to Central America. And remember, I was telling you all about heavy rainfall from all of these little systems down here trying to make up, as you can see, with some vorticity. Now, they don't all have vorticity. It's just a bunch of little rain showers trying to get a little wind up in this area. And it's the Central American gyre. Now, it is going to develop, and I'm going to turn this on and just let it roll a few moments. Tell you what should happen in the next few days, okay? A lot of models are showing this to really start to ramp up and come off, and possibly as it moves up, come up in the Gulf. Maybe, maybe not. But let's see what happens for today and the next few days. Now, it should develop in the eastern North Pacific as it's doing now, okay, toward the Central American area and southern Mexico during this upcoming week. This upcoming week is when we really are going to have to watch this, as you see it trying to form. Now, it should push abundant moisture into parts of Central America through this weekend and into next week. And some heavy rainfall is possible in parts of Central America, especially from northern Costa Rica northward into southern Mexico. Now, this is going to bring the potential for life-threatening flash flooding and mudslides for you folks in those locations that do receive the greatest amounts of rainfall, especially areas of the mountainous terrain. And you can see it does have some very heavy rainfall in it. Now, as we take a look at the Gulf, let's take a look at the Gulf. And once again, this is just the European model I'm going by, but it's looking pretty accurate right now, so that's what I'm using. You see a timestamp down at the bottom, and we do have an upper level trough, and it's going to pass through central Texas today and then southward all the way to the southern portion of Mexico. Now, precipitation is scattered to numerous in these areas, but then a stationary front is along the southern Louisiana area into the upper level ridge trough passes through this area, through Florida Panhandle, to the southwestern corner of Florida. Now, precipitation isolated, widely scattered to moderate thunderstorms. The stationary front, this is the key. This stationary front's going to drift into the northwest and north central Gulf of Mexico overnight tonight. Then it's going to stall, and then it should dissipate in the northwest Gulf through Saturday. But we got a second reinforcing front, folks, and it's going to move into the northern Gulf of Mexico tomorrow night. Now, this is going to be the second cold front, and it will weaken as it drifts southward into the northwest Gulf of Mexico through early next week. And that's what we're going to have to watch. As the second front weakens, these little storms that's down here, we're going to have to wait and see if they come up and strengthen to make another system in the Gulf. So, this is what it's looking like all around in every area. We do need to check out Africa. Now, this is next Thursday, as you can see, little teeny rain shower right here, nothing much. We'll just turn this on and let it run through Sunday. The sunny thing that may come off, looking like it may develop for our friends down on the island areas and maybe in Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. We'll see what happens. And I will turn on the pressure gradient so you can also see for yourself. This little area here was a little itty-bitty low, but it just dissipated real quick like. Looking like we have some high pressures coming off. Maybe some lows are going to come off. And if they get in this area here, they do have a good chance to form. But high pressure up here, look how big this high pressure is. It is so very, very dominant. I don't think they may, something might squeak by, just like Bertha did. But it doesn't look like it's going to at this time. But you have to remember, this can always change. And when we get to Sunday, the 7th of June, you can see we do have these little pop-up showers in these trough areas that want to develop. Right now, it looks like they might not. We'll just have to wait and see, because it's way too far out, folks, to say what's going to happen in the Gulf now. I think what's going on with the other system as we look over here that has the 50% chance to develop right here, I think it may develop a little bit more, but it's going to have colder water it's moving in as it moves northward, so it should dissipate. Do not rule out lots of rain in areas of Canada. Also some sustained winds, maybe anywhere from 10 to 30, maybe some gust of 30 to 40. If it looks like it's going to change, I'll tell you, but it should not be a full-fledged bad storm at this time. So, that's a check of your tropical weather. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. I would appreciate it. And please share this information with your families and friends if they have anyone that needs to keep their eyes open and what's going on with tropical weather. Once again, this system, it's going to get in much cooler waters. What's going on down off the coast of Central America that may come up in the Gulf, that could affect any of the Gulf states from Florida over to Texas, too far out. We have to wait and see what happens in the next few days before we can actually tell if this is going to produce a tropical system. Take care, my friends. Have a good day, a safe day, a blessed day, and peace, love, and kindness to each of you. Thank you so much for watching.